Hi everyone, this is Roland, stopping by on Christmas Eve to bring you a special message. And my special message is this. There's a lot of joy in the world. Where do you see it? Especially in little children. Christ said, you hear this over and over again. And I've said it over and over again, but I think there's much more to it than we realize. He said, unless you become as a little child, you cannot enter into the kingdom of God. That's what you need to do. You need to use your life, your time, your energy to find the secret entryway to the kingdom of God. And if you find it, you will have found everything. God is very generous. He gives to everyone. He gives. Have you ever wondered, for example, how people who seemingly are not so nice, people who seem actually bad, of course we don't know what their end is. They may have a change of heart somewhere. They may have had a change of heart. People in history that you think are really terrible, maybe they saw the light and they had a change of heart. If they did, it would be hidden from you. That's right, it would be hidden. The powers that be, they don't want you to know. You remember when Christ was born? Remember Herod? There are Herods around today. I could name some of the Herods. One of them recently retired. Yes, the Herods are around today. But he was tremendously threatened by the birth of this little tiny baby. So the Herods around, and there are big Herods and smaller Herods, all the way from the very top of the chain to the bottom of the chain. And so you have somebody lording it over you, and they have someone lording it over them, and someone's lording it over them all the way to the top Herod, who's really at the bottom because he's the closest to hell. And of course, you know who his master is. So anyway, let's keep it all very simple today. You need to find the secret way to the kingdom of God. And you're not going to find it in the world. Anybody out there who wants any kind of power, who wants to be looked up to, who wants to be admired, who wants to be respected, who wants to get your money or your approval or your silence, or your complicity, they haven't found it, and they're certainly not going to help you to find it. But it's there to be found. And you can find it very easily if you stop listening to all the authorities who don't want you to know a lot of things. Start trusting in what you know in your heart. Trust your intuition. Trust your gut. And one of the secrets is proper meditation. And so how do you do this proper meditation? Well, first of all, you sit still. God said, be still and know that I am God. So be still, and you can close your eyes. And when you close your eyes, the best way to do it, so you'll believe what I'm saying, is to go into a dark room. I always refer to the half bath on the lower level of our house. We have a half bath. And it's for guests to use to wash up before they have dinner, for example. There's no window in it. It's just a little half bath with no window. So you go in there and you turn the light off. And you get the towel, a nice fresh towel. Fold it up very nicely and put it on top of the toilet lid lid cover, so you can sit there. And sit there in the complete dark. Now you may have a place in your room where you can sit in complete dark, or you can do this at night. But you close your eyes if you're sitting in a dark room, and then you will see little twinkles of light, little pixels of light. When you look at the inside of your eyelids, that is spiritual light from God. God created light. He created earthly light so that you can see all the marvels of his creation. When Christ was born, there was the star of Bethlehem, a beautiful light. And God sends light so that you can send spiritual light. So there's that light. Close your eyes and see that light. Just look at it. It's all, just look at it. But here's a wonderful thing. When you're sitting there quietly, and you don't have to go into a dark room, but I'm just saying you could do it for fun, so that you can actually see that light. If it's a bright sunny day and you're sitting out in the bright sunshine, then some of the sunlight will come through your eyelids. You know what I mean? So you get them mixed up. But anyway, it's always there. That spiritual light is there. Like I've said so many times, you could get on a spaceship and go 1,000,000 miles out into space, way out into the outer reaches of space, far away. And you could close your eyes and you would see that spiritual light from your Creator. Now, you sit still and you look at that. But here's the wonderful thing that happens. Instead of being lost in your thoughts, see, that's where most of you are lost. See, the light is always there, but you don't sense the light. You don't experience the light. You don't listen. You don't pay attention to its delicate promptings, because you're lost in your thoughts, in the imagination, thinking about the past, planning for the future, reliving past glories and failures. And always you're lost. Always you're lost down there. And when you're there, you're separated from the light. It's still there, but you're separated from it. So you don't want to be lost in your thoughts. Who knows where those thoughts come from? They come from down below. They don't come from above. They come from down below. Now, if let's say you got the little meditation that I keep talking about. Let's say you went to my website. And I think the best one, I'll be honest with you, the best one I think is the one that I have on the telephone. When you call the listener call-in number, 510-455-8851. Here, I'll give it to you again. 510-455-8851. That's it. You call that number, and you can press whatever the number is that they ask you to press, and then you can hear that. That's the best one. I think, the best one for starters. And it basically shows you how to sit quietly, look at the little glow of light on the inside of your eyelids, and also become aware of your hand. So you can extend the light. Extend it through your body, all the way to the tips of your fingers. You do that a couple of minutes in the morning, at noon, and in the evening, 3 times a day. And then you go out in the world and you'll have that with you. And then what will happen is that as you fall into thought, the thoughts will keep looming up. They're very powerful. They will loom up, and all of a sudden you'll be lost in a thought, but then you'll become aware. Something will make you aware that you were lost in thought, and now you're back in present again, no longer lost in the thought. And then later on, you'll be lost in thought again, and you become aware of it, and you snap out. And you snap out, and you snap out. That's what your life will be from now on, if you start on this meditative path. Snapping out, snapping out, snapping out of the Alice in Wonderland daydream, which becomes nightmare, doesn't it? And then you'll discover that thoughts are just thoughts. And you'll discover that you're no longer subject to the thoughts. You're the thinker, you're not the thought. So instead of being lost in it and subject to it, now you are the master. You will have mastery over your unruly emotions. You will have mastery over your thoughts. You will have mastery over your life. Because you become the extension of your master, your authority, which is your creator. He is your authority. Your soul recognizes, basks in, is dear to, loves. See what it receives, loves the Creator, and receives gifts from the Creator. And your soul now humble, obedient. Now your body will recognize your soul as a proper master. Who's the master of your body now? Everything else. You go out in the world and this upsets you, that upsets you. This irritates you, that disturbs you, that bothers you. That excites you, that depresses you. Every little thing is a master of you now. Even a little tiny pollen. A dog barking in the night. See? The look on somebody's face. A bill. You react. God is your master. Your soul now is the proper authority for the body, and the body will recognize that authority and begin to respond to what's right, what comes through your soul from above. So that's what I wanted to tell you. Once more, the number to call if you want to hear the free little meditation. 510-455-8851.